going to look different for you and it's going to look different for me, especially for people, again, who have kids. It's not going to look like us alone traveling the world and just going here and there and doing all these things. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I kind of want to touch base on a topic that I'm going through, which I know you guys probably hear that all the time, every video almost. I like to touch on topics that I'm experiencing so that way I can give, my best advice, or kind of just tell you guys what I'm going through and what it looks like for me. I know that I'm not the only one going through these issues or problems in life, so I just like to get on here and vent with you guys and talk to you. Last video I touched base on healing yourself, and today I feel like almost kind of correlates with that. How to find yourself while being a mom. There's so many ups and downs that we get thrown at in life in general, so I feel like just trying to start all over and heal with having kids is just, it doesn't look like what you see all the time on YouTube, where you're traveling and that's how you're healing yourself, with seeing the world. And sometimes it doesn't look like spending money to go here, do these things and have fun. And you see it all over social media with a healing process with certain people, and it's going to look different for you and it's going to look different for me, especially for people, again, who have kids. It's not going to look like us alone traveling the world and just going here and there and doing all these things. I will say though, it's not always extravagant. I have actually seen a few TikToks and videos where there are moms just in the bathroom maybe crying, or they're cleaning up the house and they're crying. So I have seen a few other mothers out there sharing their journeys, and I think that's what brought me to today's video, because I'm also struggling with that same situation where I may be in my room crying one minute, just doing some shadow work, journaling, and my kid's knocking on the door. So it's like I gotta snap out of this and put my healing and my journey on a pause to go be a mom. And it's hard because I feel like I'm not 100% giving them my best, because I don't know my best yet. I'm still looking for her. She's out here and I'm close to her. I can feel her. I haven't met her. And we kind of got to put that on a pause for a moment and step out in the world and cook lunch, check homework, run bath waters. And it gets choppy. It gets very choppy for me, because one minute I'm just vibing and I'm just learning myself and getting to know myself, and I have to stop. So it's hard to balance sometimes, and us as parents, we have to do that. You have to balance. And single mothers, single fathers, there are dads out there, and there's parents together who are healing together, and we have kids. So it's hard for us to juggle this. It's not going to look perfect. It's not going to be perfect, and it's never going to be perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. It's all about first giving ourselves time. So that's going to look different for everybody. It could be while your kids are in school. It could be while your kids are asleep. And time is constantly pulling away from us, because we can't stay in our healing bubble all day. We can't stay in our who am I bubble all day. You're on a time clock, unfortunately. And before you know it, we also, we work. So between working and getting up every day and making sure that we send our kids off to school, making sure that, even outside of school and things that must be done, we're spending that one-on-one time with our kids to make sure that we're keeping up to date with their life and what's going on in it outside of your home. And even in your home, you're just making sure you're spending that one-on-one bonding time with your kids and playing games with them and just being with them in general. So time is a big part of trying to also find who you are. So you're gonna have to make time, outside of work, schedule some time to do something for yourself, whether it's small things. Like for me, when my kids are, my son is at school, my daughter is still of age to be at home, she's not ready for school yet. So I know the best time for me is when she's taking a nap, where I can come in my room and meditate, do yoga, listen to music, and just write. It helps me, and it makes me reflect on so many aspects of my life. And I feel like whoever you believe in, whether it's God or the universe, for me personally, I do believe in God. So for me, it looks like me praying a lot, and it looks like me reading my Bible as well, and just it's so many areas of myself that I'm learning. So time is important for me to be able to live in that moment and learn whatever it is that I need to learn out of that healing process there. So whatever it is that I'm focused on at the time, I gotta get the most of it out of that window, that small window that I have, because again, I'm looking up at the clock and now it's time to get my kid from school. So I think that it's very important as parents to make that time. Find it. If you have anyone in your family that can keep the kids for a while, just something to where you can have that alone time to maybe go outside and walk the trail, go outside and just get some fresh air. And you can also, do those things with your kids. And you don't have to be just closed off all the time. Sometimes you're going to have to heal in the same space as your kids. And that's okay, because you also are healing and learning to be that person for your kids. So that way you can show your kids and you can lead as an example for your kids. Also with, learning who you are while having kids is the emotions that you go through. You go through emotions where one minute, you're happy, and then the next thing you're sad, or you're having thoughts of just not always wanting to be around your kids. And I've learned to realize that that's okay. You are not a bad parent, because sometimes you want to have that space away from your kids. You're with them all day. And yes, you have moments where, of course, they're not with you, maybe at school, but for the most part, we're here with our kids all the time. So it is absolutely okay to feel like I need a break from them, or I want to be away from my kids right now and focus on me for a moment. And I think that that's a big part of the whole message that is behind today's video, is that when you think about those thoughts of being by yourself sometimes, or you want to be away from your kids sometime, it is okay. It's not the end of the world. You're not a bad parent for just wanting to breathe for a minute. You're not. And if anybody ever tells you that, no, block it out. Block it out, because it's not true. It's not true at all. I consider myself to be a good mom, and that's my opinion, and I'm okay with it. My kids are okay with it, and I know it. So for me, I don't care what anyone else has to say about my healing journey, because it's my life. These are my kids, and I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm also in the process of becoming a better version of myself for not only me, but for them. So you're going to have all types of different emotions. They're going to be all over the place. That's okay. You may envision yourself in the future sometimes by yourself, maybe hiking, by yourself, sitting next to a river, writing, doing meditation outside by yourself. And those thoughts are okay. It's okay to feel that way. You're also going to have so many thoughts of doing so many different things and showing your kids the world and just being at one and at peace with your kids. everything's not going to look like with your kids, and it's okay. It's okay too. It's all just taking it a day at a time. A day at a time. It's also about giving yourself that space and that room to grow, to learn, and to reflect and resonate. It's all of it. Giving yourself that space to really move forward, and giving yourself that space to not procrastinate. That all plays a big factor in moving forward. And I think that going back to the beginning of just the time aspect, we feel so rushed all the time in life in general. We only have 24 hours to get all these things done. You're not going to get everything done in one day, and it's not going to turn around in one day. So if you have those high expectations, please reevaluate your expectations when it comes to time, because it's not a race. The whole point of it is to learn and be imperfect and just enjoy the journey, because the journey is what makes you you at the end of the day. So moving on to my last subject or topic is, all in all, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter you being a mom or a dad and you're trying to get it right, there are days where you just don't, of course, want to get out of bed, and you don't want to get up and tend to your kids at the moment. You just have to remember to keep pushing and keep going. You got to keep going for your kids. You got to keep going for yourself, because you are their parent, and you want to make sure that you're giving them the best that you can. You want to make sure that they know that this process that you're going through, you don't want to always involve your kids, of course, on what's going on with you. You want to be able to keep some things behind closed doors, and that's okay, as long as you keep going and show your kids that no matter what our situation is, no matter what we're going through as a family right now, if it's something that's not perfect, you still want to show them that mommy or daddy can keep going, that mom can keep going. You know, your kids may look back at things and say, we didn't have always the best of everything, and that's okay, because you're not perfect. But when you look at your kids at the end of the day, and you look at your reflection in the mirror at the end of the day, it should all push you to keep going. If you're not happy with your life the way it is right now, and your surroundings, and you look around and you see that change is needed, you cannot give up. And there are days where you may not want to keep going, and those days are the days for you to rest. Those are the days for you to reflect. But at some point, you got to snap out of it and keep going, because your blessings are around the corner. And I know that sounds so cliche, and people say it all the time, but when you know that you're becoming a better person, and you actually feel like you're becoming a better person, and you know you're healing, and you're learning these different things about yourself that you never knew were even there, that's because it's around the corner, and you're almost there. But don't give up. Keep going. And I pray that anybody who's watching this video, you don't give up. I pray that you keep moving forward and you keep pushing. It's possible, and you will do it. I'm doing things that, I didn't think I would be doing. I'm sharing things that sometimes I feel like, should I share? So this is just my thoughts and my opinions, and I hope that anybody out there watching this, you learned something from it, and just keep going. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed.